You can't hear this enough. This is such an important area to deal with, to tick off of your list. That space at the back of the hip, the pelvic outlet, the pelvic floor needs to be open enough that the hip can sit back into it so that you can shift into your hip, get the ball on its axis. Only then will you be able to hip hinge properly, be able to rotate properly. And again, your hip is one of your 4 centers of rotation. You do not want to steal it from your knee or your back, or they're going to wear away quickly. Also, human movement is largely not being neutral. It's about lateralizing, fully committing to one side properly, get off that side, transition through neutral, go to the other side. So many of our problems are because we don't actually load properly and unload properly. You need that room at the back of your hip, your pelvic outlet, your pelvis, in order to hip shift properly. So the first thing we're going to do is a passive stretch to inhibit this area. So that pelvic floor, posterior outlet, also back of the hip right here. So you need something, a yoga block, a foam block, a couple of pillows, something to put your right knee on. That is going to begin to get us that posterior glide, opening up this area. You then want to cross your left leg over that right. So the hip is now adducted. This is going to open this even more. And you are going to try to let this hip fall down to the floor. That is going to open this up even more. But I also want you to come down onto the ground. You can have palms up or down, and that should begin to give you a really nice opening stretch at the back of the hip. From the back, it looks like this. The knee is on the block. The left leg crosses over. You are going to try to let this left hip come down to the floor as much as is possible. You're going to go down onto your elbows and you are going to relax. You can shift back a little bit if you want. You can shift to the right a little bit if you want, but pick your line of tension. Don't push into any pinching. And then start to breathe. So the idea is breathe into that tight area. Try to think about letting that clenching go. And you're trying to get gravity to assist in that posterior glide of nestling that ball back in the socket, shifting that hip into the socket. You can go backwards a little if you want, off to the right, that target side if you want. Don't push into any pinching, especially on the inside of the hip. A lot of us have hips that are anterior medial forwards, and you just need to sweet talk them. Begin the journey of getting them back in the socket. Use your breath. So we want to be here for at least a minute, possibly up to 2. But I need you to figure out how to breathe into your pelvic floor, breathe into your underpants, breathe in and let that clenching, which so many of us have at the back of the hip, let it go. Hi there, I'm Michelle from Movement 101. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you would like more content like this, go down to the first link in the description below. And of course, to get this information out there, it does help to click like, hit subscribe, and make a comment. And let's make sure your body is built to last. Thanks for watching.